couple of weeks ago I did a birthday party, and the birthday girl wanted to do a Bluey themed party, and this is for the pool, obviously. Although I did do some land exercises or some land party games as well. Just because when you are a creative, it means that you are quite adaptable to certain situations, and they asked me to do some party games and things like that on dry land first, and then we went into the pool afterwards. And I just thought, I'm actually putting away all my stuff, so I thought, why not go through everything with you, because you might want to just do a Bluey themed lesson. Doesn't have to be a birthday party, but it was just really great fun, and the children just absolutely loved it. A lot of the children there were in traditional swimming lessons, and they weren't used to doing type of activities and games that I would incorporate in the swimming lessons all the time. It's something that they would do at the end of a term, or it could have been something that was just a one-off. And whereas obviously for the style that I encourage and certainly recommend is to do it throughout the whole of your lesson. So down here I have all my kit. I have quite a lot of things. Here I am in my garage. It's just so much easier to show you what I have as opposed to taking it all up to my office and show you there. So you're in my garage where I keep everything, and maybe I'll give you a tour one day when I tidy it up. Anyway, let's get down to nitty gritty. This is all about Bluey and a birthday theme. So what I actually did was they had helium balloons, the first game. The helium balloons were one of Bluey and one of Bingo. And if you don't know what Bluey is, basically they are sisters. And Bluey is a whole series about being very playful, and they do a lot of games, and so it's really quite apt to do using this theme. So great on for Missy to be thinking about that for her birthday. So we had those two balloons. So for me it was obvious to do a blue team for Bluey and then an orange team for Bingo, because they just seem to be those colours. So what I did was, just going down here to reach, I actually cut out, I've got a Cricut machine, which I highly recommend to get if you'd know that you're going to be doing lots of craft foam creations, which any of you know, then I use it a lot. So what I had, I'm just going to keep these up here as well at the same time, is lots of different I always overdo than what I probably need, because I'd rather have more than less and run out. So I actually did quite a number. There were 10 children in the end. So it means that if you did 20, 2 teams of 5, and then do it so that they go at least twice. So I did a series of different blue colours, and then I had orange, and to sort of tone for the orange. So one team one team the other. They then had to swim down. The balloons were down one end, and these were on the side at the other end. They had to pick up the balloon and go and take it down to the Bluey team or the Bingo team. So that was one easy peasy lemon squeezy type of game there. The other thing is that we had was one side, so we're not doing lengths, we were doing width. So again, you're going to have to adapt this accordingly to what your pool space enables you to be able to do and set up all these sorts of things. Like I said, these are always ideas, and then it's down to you to add on, adapt, and to recreate based on what ideas I'm giving you. So I'm just going to nip down here. So what I also had was had these for years, is some ice cream bowls. So what party isn't without ice cream, and I do have other colours of these, but unfortunately they broke. But there's a blue one as well that come in a pack, and they also come with spoons. So what I did is that, again, 2 teams, they can either stay in the same team or they would change it up and go into 2 different teams. I actually put 2 bowls because you can't fit too many things in here. So it was like the red and green team, sorry, the pink and green team, and then the yellow and purple team, or whichever colour coordination you wanted to do it. And then they had the relative spoon to bowl. And they had then ping pong balls, which were the ice creams, and I'm just going to nip here to show you. And so I had the relative colours again for ping pong balls that would go then into the ice cream bowls. And how they transferred, there's a different couple of ways. You can have them blow them across, or I had them actually where they had to balance these on here. If they wanted to balance, but this was a little bit tricky, then in between one would be that they would then use a ice cream cone, and they would put the ice cream in the cone, and then they would take it and hold this and transport it across to their ice cream bowl. And it was the first team to fill the whole of their ice cream bowls, and that was the winner of the group, the team there. Now if the balls get stuck in there, then you have to work out that you have to put it down and underneath the water, and then it pops up and out, which is quite cool. Some little bit of science. So like that one's already stuck in there. Let me just put these behind so I've got my hands free to show you the next game. Then what we had was I cut out and laminated some characters of Bluey. So there's Dad, Bluey, and there you go. There's one of her Bluey's school friends, and the rest of them are somewhere. And what I did was these plastic cups. Probably recommend that you do different coloured, but this is all I had at the time. And what I've done is I've just put a sticky dot on there and Velcro on there, and then they just stuck to the cups. And then what I did with the cups was I have a big float, and with the big float I put them out and we lined them up, and they had some firing guns, like water guns, of where they had to knock them off the float. And they all had one. Again, you could do it in teams. If you've only got 2 and you're wanting to fire it, then first person has a go, and if they get it over, then the next person goes. Or you could then add, if they don't get it down, then they have to keep going until they do get one down, and so forth. They could swim down, and rather than using a squirter, you could be using balls to be able to knock them over. If they're needing more more of a bigger or harder ball to be able to knock them down, then use a beach ball or a volleyball, water polo ball, or whatever you need. But they really enjoyed doing that, and you'd have a full setup there of all these characters set up, which they absolutely loved. Then also what we had, moving on, we're part of, put that ball in there, I've got some balloons still here, it's all still wet from when I actually did it. Right, let's put those cups away. And then what we did was to do with cupcakes, so going then back to like a little bit of a party, is that we had, or I have, cupcakes here. And a couple of different things here we did, is that I've got red pom-poms, and these were the cherries to go on the cupcakes. So I just chose big pom-poms just because they actually float in the water, and they've got these on the top. And what they do again is that they either, a couple of ways they can do this, they either use the firing guns again to try and knock them off. They knock them off, or it could be that they go over and that they take the cherry off and swim back and see how many cherries that they can collect. Or it could be that they have the cupcakes on the side and that all the cherries are in the water, and that they go and collect as many cherries as they come and pick them. And then obviously you've got a series of cupcakes out, and then they have to go and get the relative amount of cherries there that they have. Could be that you have one less cherry, so then the team wins of the ones that actually got their team back the fastest. So you could do that as well. These kits are from Baker Ross, or you can make them yourself if you are quite creative with your Cricut or cutting up craft foam. And then what we did was a couple more here. I actually had this prepared, but we didn't actually use those. Also, what you could do with those is I put them around the outside of the float with these cups, and if they got the cherry off, then they got a bonus point for their team. Then we did these candles. Missy, I asked her what colour candles that she wanted, and she said she wanted pink and green, so I cut up these candles here again for her for the cake. So we all put the cupcakes out and then blew the candles out for her. Now she's 5, so again 2 teams, and they each got a candle, so for her birthday, because she was celebrating her 5th birthday. So if it was me, and obviously if you didn't know the birthday person and you weren't able to ask them what colours, I probably would have colour coordinated it again to blue and orange just to follow the theme through, but that's just me being trying to do matchy. But that is it. There were the games. What I did have out as well, just to make sure that they understood the boundaries, is that I had cones out at the stairs of where if I asked them to just stay and wait for when I'm setting up the next game, that they needed to stay within the cone area, and that the children that weren't that proficient in the water, I then had another set of cones out to say I'd rather you stay in this area here, don't go beyond that. And therefore I was able to just give them those boundaries so that I wasn't then too stressed, and they did listen. So it's really great as long as you ask them in the nicest possible way and explain the reason why, then they will tend to stick within those parameters that you do give them. So that is an exciting Bluey themed party game which you can do in swimming lessons. This was for a party, but it's just as fun in swimming lessons as well if you fancy doing a type of character themed swimming lesson. So hope you enjoy. If there's anything specific that you may have done before with this theme, or you may have done a birthday party with something else, please write in the comments below of what you did and what sort of games that your swimmers enjoyed doing. Oh, one bonus game as well that we did was Bluey Says. We did a Bluey Says game, like a Simon Says. Bluey Says, and we turned around and we splashed, we kicked hard, went really fast, really slow, so it brings in loads of directional work, climb up, jump in, and so forth. So that was a really good game too. Anyway, so please, make sure that you write those comments below, and see you in the next video. Take care.